वर्किंग आ गई
आगे अरे मेरे YouTube पर क्यों नहीं आ रहा है ये सही है
Yeah, I told them that I would shoot it.
करण जी शुरू कर दीजिए पहले सबसे पहले फोटोज लेनी है ना हाँ नहीं अभी अभी करने पड़ेगा आपको सबसे पहले
You need which one you need?
Elementary. Thank you.
if you are not at peace? Now we know that peace begins with now we know from before that peace begins with a smile. I want to share a personal experience. Anywhere and everywhere. No place is too small or too big. At last, I would like to thank the Mahatma Gandhi contest and his team who gave us the opportunity to share our feelings. And Mahatma Gandhi also wanted to spread peace all around the world. So it is our responsibility to carry on his message and go and spread peace and love anywhere and everywhere. Have a great day.
That was very good, Rohan. Thank you. Our next speaker is Shivam.
Hello everyone. My name is Shivam Kilper and I am in grade 4 and 8 years old. So, I'm here to tell you how I practice peace. There are 4 examples. The first example is how I practice peace at home. Say that I'm talking and my parents are not listening. So I get angry. So what I do, I go to my room, take a deep breath and let that anger go. I come back and get my parents' attention and tell them what I wanted to say to them. So in this way, I control my anger and keep a peaceful environment. The second example is how I practice peace at school. So let's say that there's this person at the cafeteria who's making fun of me. So I get angry. So what I do, I go to another seat, take a deep breath, and let the anger go. And even though he just keeps on making fun of me, I just ignore him. So in this way, I just show my anger and keep a peaceful environment. The third example is how I practice peace at recess. Let's say my team lost and the other team won. So our team gets angry. So I take a deep breath and let that anger go away and tell my friends, hey, we can do better than this. And don't be angry. So in this way, I control my anger and keep a peaceful environment. The fourth example is how I practice peace at a friend's house. Let's say that my friend is building a mechanical robot and I'm just watching him from a distance. Suddenly something goes wrong and he blames it on me. So I get angry. So what I do, I take a deep breath and let that anger go away and tell him, hey, you're the one who was building the mechanical robot. It's your fault, not mine. Okay, let's rebuild it. Let's rebuild this together. So in this way, I show my anger and keep a peaceful environment. So from all these 4 examples, what I wanted to say to you is that don't show your anger, and you can keep a peaceful environment by just taking a deep breath and let that anger go away. I would also like to quote Gandhi. Peace cannot be somewhere where the fear, hatred,
That was good, Shreya. Thank you. Our next speaker is Zainab Nafi.
That one is not working.
It should be.
It's not coming through. It has to be the other microphone.
Is that one? Okay.
Hello, my name is Zena. Nobody can win peace by yourself. This was said by Ralph Waldo Emerson. There are two types of peace. Peace with yourself, what some people call inner peace, and peace with others. One way to practice inner peace is to tell the truth. Have you ever lied before? How did it feel? Did it feel peaceful? Well, I have lied before. One day, when I was younger, while I was eating dinner, I noticed that there's a lot of mushrooms, my least favorite vegetable, on my plate. So I decided to put it all back into the pot. I got out of my chair and crept toward the pot. I looked down cautiously and saw that my mom was on the sofa looking at her phone and her dad was in his bedroom. I quickly slid the mushrooms back off my plate, and ran back to my chair and acted as if nothing had happened. Then my mom came into the dining room. Did you eat your mushrooms? She asked. Yes, I said way too quickly. Afterwards, I felt very hot and guilty for lying. I was definitely not at peace. Telling the truth isn't always easy, but if you tell the truth, it makes you feel more peaceful, and it makes you feel healthier. If you're healthy, you have more peace. There's data to support this. Dr. Kelly, a professor of psychology at the University of Notre Dame in Indiana, did an experiment and asked one group to stop telling lies while the other group to count the lies they do. The results showed that the non-lying group's health increased while the lying group's health decreased. The non-lying group also found that they had better relationships with their friends than the lying group. Peace with others requires you to tell the truth. When you lie, you lose trust with people, and when you lose trust with people, they argue, and they do not practice peace. When your friend lies to you, they lose their trust. The next time you meet them, there's tension in the air. You might get into a few arguments. These feelings are not at all peaceful. Peace with others also requires you to be trusted or dependable. In the last Girl Scout camp, several people were assigned to bring the food. Luckily, they all did, but if they didn't, we'd be some pretty hungry scouts, and we'd be angry, which is not a peaceful feeling. I'd also not completely trust that person and would make sure I have a backup. If you want to have inner peace and peace with others, then I speak the truth and be dependable. That's what I try to do. Remember, nobody can bring peace by yourself. Thank you.
Very good, Zainab. Thank you. Very good. Our next speaker is Candy Jean H.M. Osara.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Candy Jean Achim Osara. First, I want to thank the Eternal Gandhi Museum for letting me enter the contest so I can speak about peace. You see, there has been many wars lately. For instance, Russia has been fighting Ukraine. In the honor of Mahatma Gandhi, we want the world to have peace. But how do we do that? We can make the world have peace by being a good leader, by being kind, by being forgiving, by quitting crimes, by being respectful, by being caring, and also by being a good citizen. When you do these things, make the world bigger, not smaller. I know some of you don't understand what I mean. What I mean is when there's peace in the world is when the world is bigger because everybody is not scared. People come out to the world and people tend to greet each other. However, when the world is smaller, people are not scared. People don't come out to the world and they don't greet each other because they're scared of each other. Peace is the way to bring growth and prosperity to the world. If we do not have peace, then achieving economic stability, cultural growth, and and um, cultural growth, economic stability, and cultural growth will be impossible. Peace has played a key role in ending world wars. This is the kind of peace that Mahatma Gandhi advocated for. I hope we can make the world a better place by being peaceful. Thank you.
That was good, Candy. Our last student in elementary category is Ishan Rai. Ishan.
Namaste. My name is Ishan Naik and I'm in grade 4. Today I will speak about how do I practice peace. Gandhiji once said, each one has to find his peace from within, and peace to be real must be unaffected by outside circumstances. Peace for me means to be away from unpleasant thoughts and disturbances. By staying on the right path, not being rude or hurtful to any living being around me, I practice peace. It is important to watch our choice of words and our actions in order to experience peace from within. Gandhiji followed simple living and good food habits for better and peaceful living. Recently, Acharya Ashish Ji visited us at DAV school and taught us the technique of chanting Om for inner peace and to improve focus. For this, first I sit up straight with my legs crossed. Then inhale deeply. I focus on my breathing while chanting Om. While doing this, I count the number of distractions I experience. The aim is to decrease the number of distractions and increase focus on breathing and chanting. If done every day, this technique helps in keeping the mind calm and decrease anxiety. Gandhiji also believed that meditation gives us more energy and strengthens focus. Sometimes people can bother us and disturb our inner peace. In that scenario, I try the following techniques. Number 1, take deep breaths. Number 2, ignore them and ignore what they said. Number 3, spend some time alone. Number 4, meditate. Number 5, do an activity that I enjoy like listening to soothing music. Number 6, yoga and exercise. Personally, chanting Om, soothing music, and meditation have helped me when I'm stressed about my schoolwork. Remember, peace comes from within. We can't focus on outer peace if we are not calm from within. As Gandhiji said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Thank you.
That was good, Ishan. Thank you. Is there any other elementary school student that I am missing? Okay, that concludes the elementary school category. Now we'll take a break for 10 minutes and we reconvene for the middle and high school students.
I don't know, he was that. He's the one who did that. Now I remember. Because he's the one who did the
Okay, it's okay. I can pick it up.
All the elementary school children, there are certificate of participation which they can pick up at the registration desk.
ओके तो आपने उसको इंटरव्यू करा let me ask somebody.
Turn on the microphone for that one.
I don't know which microphone it is.
Or you don't know which one is that.
No, it's only
I
the
think
only
it was working before,
the
man.
only mic that is working is the one.
Hello. Hello, hello. We'll get started with the middle and high school students. Our first student in the high school category is grade Nuokiki.
13 happened.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be talking about how we can make the world a better place. For this, I have two key reasons. My first reason is about we can stop cutting down the trees because of our oxygen level. And my second reason is about instead of wasting our money on going to outer space, we can use it to explore the land we're living in right now. According to nationalgeographic.com, we have cut about 65% of the trees And we're not even thinking about what that happens to us. We're wasting our oxygen levels. We are finding it hard to breathe. Like, for example, in India, the industrial facilities are making it hard to breathe. Their oxygen level is really low right now. So if about a couple thousand of us starts to plant trees and outside of areas and grow them, like plant them and make them grow, and it will help our oxygen levels a lot. Now I'm gonna go to my second reason. We have spent about $20 billion going out of space to try to find another planet. Because we know humans, the government know that this one is dying. It won't like accept us for a couple more years. We're killing this planet and we're going to find another one. Now, instead of going to find another planet, like for example, the government wants us to live in the Mars, we can use that money to try to explore this land. When we first digged up dirt, what did we find? Oil, bronze, diamond, stuff that we use in our everyday life. And we have not even explored 80% of the ocean. So if we explore that, don't you think we are going to find useful materials we can use to be in our everyday life? Like for example, we might something for new technologies. We might find something for like oil, the oil spills. We might something to fix that. So that's why. Thank you.
That was good, great, Gopi.
You hear me now?
Our next speaker is Oyken Sola Ademi.
So,
Good morning. My name is Untitled Chapter, and I'll be talking about how to make the world a better place. Making the world a better place. In fact, how do we make the world a better place? And in fact, why should we even care? Now, now, on the media, we always see news about people donating thousands upon millions of dollars to these food banks or creating food banks themselves, and they help the world in that way. And we may feel sometimes like, oh, I don't have that money. Oh, I don't have that influence. How am I going to help? And how am I going to change anything when I'm just myself? By the same, by that time, you really don't need that much money, or you really don't need that much like influence to really make something. If we look at a lot of leaders who have really changed the way the world is right now, like even Gandhi or Martin Luther King or even civil rights leaders, we can see that they're just regular people like each and every one of us. Nothing special. They just decided that, oh, I see something that's not good in this world. Oh, I see something that really needs to be changed inside this world. And I am going to stick with it. I am going to be dedicated. And I am going to strive. And I'm not going to quit until I make this world better. And that's what we need to do. We don't need all this money. We don't need all of this power. All we just need to do is work together. By ourselves, we can do so little, but together we can do so much. What's even the point about trying to just do stuff by ourselves when there's like 7 billion of us out there? We're separated, we don't work together, we try and do things by ourselves. But that's not how we were made. We weren't just like one person, but there's a lot of us here, and not a lot of us, that's how we really make change. A lot of the civil rights that I talked about before and how people have really changed the world, that came about from them creating a group of people who believed in the same thing and who were really truly dedicated together, who were willing to die for what they believed in, who were willing to really change and were dedicated and they worked day in, day and night, just trying to make the world better. And that's how we can make the world better. Sure it's not like back then, and we may feel like, oh, this is a different word. But at the same time, there's so many things we can do. I'm sure some of you have been driving down the road and you saw a homeless man like, oh, I am gonna do with the little I have, even though I might not have enough, and I'm gonna donate because I really want to change something. And sure, it may not be on that grand scale that I'm talking about, but you still did something, you influenced someone's life. It may not be, you changed someone's day, you changed someone's week, you never even know how people or what people are going through. And but you decided that you were gonna, even if you didn't have much, you were gonna change them. So that's how you make the world a better place. You look and you try and you find problems and we work together. And we work together because that's how we reach new change.
Microphone they're using for the timeline because the light is not coming, like the light is not here.
That was good, Oigan Sora. Our next speaker is Zion Omadusu.
Yeah. They are using the phone microphone and I think it's one of the music microphones that we use. If you see this one is the only one that is coming.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zion Oladosu, and today I'm going to be talking about how to make the world a better place. The world isn't as great as it seems. There's war, slavery, poverty, pollution, bullying, etc. And all these problems are still out there in the world because barely anybody is trying to fix it. Even the so-called president is only doing a little bit because have you seen those gas prices? Even as a kid, 1 gallon of gas is so much. I believe if more people came together and worked as hard as they did for money, then at least 1/4 of the world's problems would be resolved. From today, we need to start to try to make the world a better place. Therefore, I have a few solutions for that. 1. Bullying. Bullying is a topic that shouldn't even exist. It can drag a person down physically and mentally. Bullying can cause a person to feel worthless, useless, unimportant, etc., and concentrate on things that shouldn't even be thought of at all. Fortunately, I have a solution for that. When was the last time you told someone, "Oh, you look lovely today," or "I like your shoes, they look good on you"? Probably a while ago. And I'm not even gonna lie, same this year. So to solve that, I think we should give a compliment to at least 2 to 5 people a day. Because you never know how one compliment can change a person's life. One compliment can not only boost a person's self-esteem, but studies show it can also improve a person's health. I know if I received a compliment, I would feel better about myself, and I'm sure you would too. Another problem out there in the world is pollution. Pollution is an important topic because it can impact our future, and it already is now. There is air, water, land pollution, and all these are mostly caused by human activity. Like, for example, throwing trash in the street, vehicle emissions, wildfires, etc. And this is really impacting our environment negatively, and that needs to change now. One way we can solve that is by picking up trash around the neighborhood for 30 minutes or more each day. Because to reduce pollution, and no, I'm not going to mention water because you already know that and we still don't listen. Another suggestion is riding bikes instead of driving cars. Bikes are way cheaper than cars and better for the environment and your health. Also, some people drive to places that are only a few miles away, and that is really impacting the area right now. Remember that it's never too late to be part of the change of this world. There's always something you can do now and in the future. It just depends on how and when you try. Thank you.
That was good, Zion. Our next speaker is Alvin Tara. Alvina, I'm sorry. Alvina Tara.
A wise man once said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Not only do these words point out the fact that one must bring the change they wish to see themselves, but it also emphasizes on the fact that one must change him or herself to change the world. And for those of us wondering, this wise man was none other than the revered Mahatma Gandhi, the leader we are gathered here today to honor. Now, how exactly can one change the world in a positive way? And how can I, as an individual, improve the world and its conditions? I'm here today to talk to you about just that. Hello, I'm Alina Thara, and this is how I can change the world. Well, first of all, change begins with yourself. When you are at war with yourself, you cannot stop or help with other external wars. If you are under the delusion that you are perfect and are in no need of change whatsoever, I'm afraid to say that you are probably not correct. As Scott Sorrell summed up, you make the world a better place by making yourself a better person. I know that I'm not faultless. In fact, I will truly accept that fact. However, accepting it is not enough. It is imperative that one takes the proper steps to change and better themselves. That is the only way they can hope to change the world in a positive way. Only then, when you are satisfied with yourself, can you set out to improve the world. You do not have to be extravagant. You do not have to be grandiose. Start with the small things. Donate to a deserving charity. Volunteer at a nonprofit. Make someone's day with a simple smile or conversation. I, as a student, cannot go out and spend days on end on the other side of the world helping refugees or those affected by countless tragedies, which is the harsh reality for many, and that's okay. I instead dedicate my free time to volunteering at nonprofits, helping my friends and family wherever I can, and participating in contests and events honoring important events and figures such as this one. The world may be large, but it requires both small-scale and large-scale improvement. One does not have to venture outside of their capacities or abilities to change the world. Doing anything at all is an improvement to the world. I would like to end with one of my personal favorite quotes from Mahatma Gandhi. In a gentle way, you can shape the world. Think about that quote, reflect on it, and identify how it applies to you and your life. So, how can I change the world? Well, first, improve yourself. Then, start with the small things. Maybe, just maybe, you can then move on to making the world a better place at the scale the astonishing Mahatma Gandhi did. Thank you so much for your time, and a special thank you to the Eternal Gandhi Museum of Houston for affording me this amazing opportunity. Have a great rest of your day.
That was good, Elvina. Sorry about mispronouncing your name. Our next speaker is I am Tara.
In 1913, a man once said, "The future depends on what you do today." And this man's name was Mahatma Gandhi. He changed the world by following his beliefs, and he changed the world by following his code. And he was the major reason for India's independence today, and he changed the world globally as well. Now, if Mahatma Gandhi did this independently, I believe we can do it too. And that is exactly what I'm here to talk about today. How can I change the world? I believe I can change the world because, as Mahatma Gandhi said, if we want to teach peace in this world, we must start by educating children. If we educate children at a young age, then they can help. They can start with their future and change the world one day. Some children have a mental barrier from reaching their full potential. This is why I believe I am a good fit to help them, because I was also the shell. I had a mental barrier in my mind blocking me from thinking that I can't impact the world in any way, shape, or form. But some people might be wondering, how can a 13-year-old tutor children? Well, I can't walk into a school and just pick a classroom, but the internet allows me to tutor children from websites, and I have researched this topic many times where I can teach children, and I believe I can educate children, so one day those children can educate the world. One way I talked about by educating children, but we must not forget adults need help too. I can help adults by supporting a small business, reading books to the elderly, or maybe even donating to the poor. I can also pay it forward. Paying it forward is being kind, is responding to kindness to oneself by being kind to someone else. So, adults need help as much as children do, maybe even more, and we must not forget that. The people in this world need just as much help as we do. We should always remember, we can help someone else by just contributing 30 minutes of our time, and you don't know what they can do with our help. Now, I'm going to leave everyone with one last quote. An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world line. And you might be wondering, who said this quote? It was no one, it was none other than Mahatma Gandhi. And you might be wondering, why is this quote meaningful? I believe this quote is meaningful because, as he said, an eye for an eye only makes the world blind, which means sometimes we have to sacrifice ourselves or our eye to save someone else's. Thank you so much and have a great day. And thank you to the Eternal Mahatma Gandhi Museum for letting me talk in this awesome speech contest. Thank you.
That was good, thank you. Our next speaker is Karina Kamal.
No, it's not.
Good morning and namaskar, honorable judges and wonderful audience. My name is Karina Kamal, and today I feel so blessed to be part of this event where I can share how I feel I can make the world a better place. To start, I'd like to emphasize a special part of Gandhiji's philosophy that has particularly impacted my life. He has particularly emphasized that it is these small acts of kindness that truly make a positive difference. In my own life, I have tried incorporating this very philosophy in many unique forms. For example, my leadership. In my high school, I'm the president of the Spanish Honor Society. And so when I create opportunities for volunteering for members, I try to focus not on how much money one can donate, but rather how much time they can commit. For example, last week only, we visited the local nursing home, and we simply talked to the residents for hours in Spanish. A lot of them are immigrants, so a lot of them are more comfortable with speaking in Spanish. And so I realized I can't bring back the glory days of football or their first loves. By simply talking to them, I can make them feel heard and appreciated. Furthermore, part of being a good leader is being culturally aware. And Spanish Honor Society has truly helped me become culturally aware. And as someone who wants to pursue healthcare, it is so important to have a global perspective, so that when I talk to people of not Indian descent, I can truly be aware of their cultural background. Additionally, outside of school, I am part of an organization known as Hope for Three, which is an autism awareness organization. And we have done many car washes where we perform complimentary services to wash people's cars, and we have a donation box with posters held up. But this is for an autism awareness organization. And when people do donate, we emphasize that by this very small donation, you are making a huge impact on an autistic child's life towards bettering their life and helping them obtain the resources they need to succeed. Thus, through this multitude of opportunities, I hope to incorporate Gandhiji's legacy of kindness, as when I help volunteer and I see smiles on other people's faces, I can't help but also smile because I feel a sense of self-fulfillment. Like Gandhiji said, in a gentle way, you can shape the world. So please join me and let us all positively shape the world. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
That was good, Karina. Thank you. Our next speaker is Ayushi Kavedia.
Hello, my name is Ayushi, and today I'm going to talk about how I can make the world a better place. In this very room are people that come from different backgrounds. We're all components to a wondrous and diverse community. But when you put those differences aside, we see similar ideas and visions for a better future. Our world has faced many conflicts: war, discrimination, and now climate change. The need to resolve these problems just keeps on growing. But can we single-handedly solve this? I'm sure most of you would say no, and you're right. If just one person could do that, these problems wouldn't even exist. Individually, we may not have the power to solve problems on a grand scale, but we do have the power to inspire, motivate others, and build a team to tackle these challenges. And that, my friends, is the key to making the world a better place. But how do I start? A spark is needed. I'm grateful to my parents for teaching me the basic life lessons. They've always taught me to stand up for what's right. We have the power to speak up and acknowledge our own stance. Many of the world's problems are complex, but made of trivial conflicts, like bullying and disparity at various levels. We can help by standing up for ourselves and others. Remember, you have the power to show your disapproval. When we stand up for ourselves, others notice and get motivated to do the right thing. Volunteering is another great way to improve the world. This year, I volunteered at Unite and Inspire and helped grow crops to feed the community that needed it most. Being of service to others created a good feeling in my heart, and I want to continue for a greater cause. Above all, a better world calls for a healthier and greener earth. Just like us, Earth has only one life. We can help by implementing eco-friendly practices and using natural resources wisely. Our world is trapped with several ailments and conflicts. Hence, it is imperative that we all unite, work together, and spread awareness about the cause to help make the world a better place. Remember, we are stronger together than we are alone. Thank you.
That was good, Ayush. Our next speaker is Khushi Kavedia.
Testing, testing. We are currently living in a very diverse community where people share their differences in their values, ideas, and cultures. However, if there's one thing that we all share, it's our common belief to create a better working world for the present and future generations. The framework of our world has been shattered by complications we never thought we'd imagine. A global pandemic, international conflicts, and rising temperatures. Change is needed now, more than ever. As Nelson Mandela said, it's in your hands to make the world a better place. Namaste. My name is Khushi, and today I'll be talking about how I can make the world a better place. Living eco-friendly can help to improve the world and reduce several major environmental conflicts, specifically climate change. The apparent dangers of this issue makes it a priority to resolve it. The process of restoring our environment will take time, but it shouldn't be a liberal or conventional provocation. As Ken Livingstone said, to tackle climate change, you don't need to change the quality of your life, but you do need to change the way that you live. I hope that by implementing eco-friendly and resource-efficient practices in my regular life, I can achieve better results for the environment. Another way that I can help to improve the world's conditions is by extending my compassion to others. Like glue, kindness bonds us together, allowing us to live harmoniously with one another. But if this bond is broken, society turns into what it is today, torn by violence, hatred, and conflict. And this will only progress in the future. The smallest act of kindness is worth far more than the greatest intent. I hope that by extending my compassion to those who need it and not neglecting the simple things that can help someone in need, I can make the world a better place. There are many adversities that our world is facing, but they can be resolved. It will take time to find new solutions, but we each can be part of the greater change. It will be difficult to overcome old habits and behaviors, but with perseverance, our combined efforts will reach the end goal. Remember, united we stand, divided we fall. Let us, all together, stop Earth's downfall. By practicing what's right and resolving our wrongs, the future for us shines bright and strong. Start at small scales, from person, community to nation. Let us propagate better futures for the future generations. Thank you.
That was good question. Thank you. Our next speaker is Zahara Latif.
No, I cannot see.
Hello, my name is Zahra Latif. How can I make the world a better place? I'm only one little person in a world with over 7 billion people. Then I remembered that what Rosa Parks had once said, one person can change the world. I recall that when Greta Thunberg, who's extremely passionate about climate change, was only 15, she became an environmental activist. In March 2019, she inspired climate campaigners to organize the first global strike for climate, in which over 1.6 million people from 125 countries took part. There's still protests like this going on today. This protest was to demand the immediate action to prevent environmental disaster. Greta Thunberg made the world a better place by bringing about an awareness to the general public. But I don't have to start this big. I can start small. Here's how I made the world a better place. My family and I were volunteering to feed the homeless. Within minutes of setting up, there was a long line of famished homeless people waiting to get food. As each person received their meal, I could see the gratitude in their eyes, in their actions, and in their words. They thanked me and the other volunteers with such feeling that I felt fortunate that I could help them. After we fed everyone, I felt proud that I was able to help those in need. I realized that this little action, feeding homeless people, helps make the world a little bit better, and for that, I was extremely happy. I can even start a lot smaller. How? It's simple. I can recycle plastics instead of throwing them in the trash. All I have to do is throw all the plastics I have into the recycling bin. If I put my plastics in the trash, I'll end up in the oceans and landfills, which will then hurt the animals. Over 100 million marine animals die due to plastic waste each year. To put this number into perspective, every second, 3 marine animals die. Another thing I can do is advise my friends and family to recycle more. By doing this, I'm not only making the world a better place, but I'm also extending the impact I make. I've shared with you 3 examples of how one person can change the world. You can start big, like Greta Thunberg, or small, like feeding the homeless, recycling, or something else that helps others. Even smiling at someone makes the world a better place because it brightens a person's day. It doesn't take talent to make the world a better place. All it takes is knowledge, desire, action for you to make the world a little bit better. Making the world a better place begins with one person. Then other people start to follow. It's like Rosa Parks said, one person can change the world. And if I can do it, then so can you. Thank you.
That was good, Zahra. Thank you. Our next speaker is Arjun Kumar.
Namaste and a very good morning to everyone. Making the world a better place may seem like a very cliche idea and even unattainable at times. However, making the world a better place doesn't necessarily have to mean solving world hunger or securing world peace. We frequently lose ourselves in the negativity of this world and begin to lie to one another. We complain about everything and believe that the world is a terrible place to live in or is useless. Stress, worry, and sadness are eventually brought on by all these desperate thoughts. However, at all times, the only thing we should be focusing on is how we can make the world we live in a better and more peaceful environment. Now, this goal does not require a Herculean effort, it is definitely within our reach. What is needed is a constant desire to keep on striving to make ourselves better human beings and improve. As Mahatma Gandhi had once inspiringly said, as human beings, our greatest lives not as much in being able to remake the world as in being able to remake ourselves. Now, the first step in doing this is to stop complaining or seeing the downsides to everything. No matter how hard life gets, there are always positive aspects to it. You may be concerned about your grades, job, family, home, or another issue, or even more serious situations of having no one to support your family. And given our current lifestyle, social media is a big factor that can impact our minds in a very unhealthy way. Now, in this situation, we would undoubtedly criticize the surroundings and risk losing hope. It's imperative to stop fretting and peer at the good opportunities that may be hiding beyond our periphery. Even when things are not going the way we think is ideal, we need to keep our minds on the bright side and do everything in our power to avoid pessimism. Helping others, even when we are in a hard state of affairs, is another process that is critical in making the world a better place. We should assist not only our relatives and family, but also our neighbors and strangers who are facing challenging situations. This is a holistic way to unwind and gain internal fulfillment. Here again, Gandhi's saying once proves this, stating that the best way to lose yourself is to go into the service of others. Now, caring for the environment also may seem like pointless as we are only one person. So what difference could we possibly make, right? This is wrong. We still need to take good care of the air we breathe and the water we drink. What I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't ever pollute the air or the water, or else the ecosystem will not become in the ideal fashion that we want it to become. Now, we can improve the world by taking small steps at a time. All we have to do is play our part and encourage our friends and family to do the same thing. Lastly, we should always wear a smile on our faces and be thankful for what we are blessed with and the beautiful moments that we share with our loved ones. We all have more strength and resilience in us than we realize. By being kind to ourselves, helping others, staying positive, and smiling in uncertain situations, we will definitely make our world more perfect, more peaceful, and harmonious overall. Let us all enjoy the precious gift of life to our fullest and make sure that we're spreading cheer and creating a peaceful space all around us. Dhanyavad.
That was good, Arjun. Our last contestant is Isha Kumar.
Good morning and namaste to everyone present here. How can I make our world a better place to live in? This is a very deep question that each soul amongst us ponders sometime or the other in our lives. We live in a universe where everyone constantly has their own agenda to follow and their own desires to fulfill. So how can we possibly give to this world when we are in an eternal struggle to give to ourselves? Personally, I believe spreading the light of knowledge by educating each and every person in this world and giving an opportunity to everyone who never got the scope to face the radiance of education will make our world a much better place. Empowering everyone with the might of education can enable each and every human to enrich their lives and make a strong and positive impact on our society. This has always been a topic of discussion at the policymakers level, but has failed to see its impact at the grassroots level. Perhaps we can be the ones who make this happen for a better tomorrow for all of us and our future generations. Here is where comes the role of mentoring and tutoring, where the progress should be made quantifiable. Measuring the progress brings ownership and accountability into the process, and the mentor, teacher, or coach receives and sees a tangible result in their learners' progress. And the ones at the receiving ends of this precious gift of knowledge thereby start a chain of passing on this knowledge to anyone who can benefit from this. This can be done at school, college, or university levels and has to be a collective effort of our society. We can all be inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's beautiful saying that everyone to some extent can do the work of spreading education. Education also fosters a general perception about the people and cultures around the world and brings us closer together, making us more tolerant towards those from diverse backgrounds.
Education also helps to raise awareness about the struggles of humankind in different parts of the world and finding solutions for them. The power of literacy gives us resilience to thrive in a harsh society and stay away from dangers and wrongdoings. This, in turn, leads to a world of peace. Just imagine a world without crime, poverty, suffering, danger, and evil lurking all around us. Knowledge with a strong emphasis on social morals could make that possible. If enough awareness is raised, keeping ethics and principles as guiding factors, the wrongdoings will eventually lose all their strength. I am also fortunate to be a part of the DAV Sanskriti School, where we are taught to follow the rules of dharma, which helps us to differentiate the right from the wrong and incorporate nishkamkar, which are selfless actions, into our lives. With a lot of hope in my heart, I believe that the flames of knowledge will remove all the darkness and usher in a happy and peaceful world. As Mahatma Gandhi famously said, if we want to reach real peace in this world, we should start educating children. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
That was good, Isha. Is there any other student from the middle high school that I have missed? All the participants, please collect your certificates of participation at the registration desk. And every student over here is a winner, regardless. It takes a lot to get I would like to thank all the participants, their parents, for their hard work, patience, and all the effort they have put forward for this event. The winners will be announced by the end of the day today, and they will receive their trophies at 1,000 Lights of Peace celebration on 2nd October right here at RDS Mall at 5 p.m. First place winners in each category will be requested to, and will have an opportunity to present their speech on the stage at this program on 2nd October at 5 p.m. Please be sure to join us. I would like Mr. Atul Kothari to say a few final words. Mr. Kothari.
Namaste and good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to begin with thanking Arizona Greater Houston for allowing us to use the beautiful facility here. Of course, all the judges, the timekeeper, the volunteers, and last but not the least, all the participants, all their parents, to wake up your children on a Saturday morning, bring them over here. It's a tough task, and well done. Really appreciate it. As Karanji mentioned, next Sunday in the same place at 5 p.m., we'll be celebrating 1,000 Lights of Peace, where the winners of various contests will be given the prizes, and the winners of the speech contest will be delivering the speeches in front of a large audience. So if you have time and mark your calendar, you can join us next Sunday. That would be greatly appreciated. You'll be pleased to know that every rally is in Houston, which has organized this event. But the actual museum will be opening hopefully next year. And if you get a chance, do visit egms.org to learn about the progress that it is making. If you are not getting the monthly newsletter, just go to egms.org, sign up for the monthly newsletter, and we'll keep you informed of the activities we're doing. But we'll have the actual museum the next year, and hopefully the next year contest will be at the museum in itself, and then go from there. I listened to many of your speeches, and I was very happy to learn that many of you have expressed the idea that museum is going to try and spread among the community, which is be the change you wish to see. It's amazing your young minds have picked up on that. The change begins with yourself. And once you start there, there is no limit. So just to share with you an incident about Mahatma Gandhi, I'm sure many of you know that when he was traveling in South Africa with a first class ticket, he was thrown out of the train in the middle of the night. And it was cold outside, and he was shivering. And at that time, he could have taken the position, but this happens to everyone who comes to South Africa. So just put up with it and just move on. But he decided no, that my self-respect is wounded and something must be done about it. He didn't know at that time that he would become a world leader for the peace. So that is the most important part. It's not what you do, how much you do, but in a small, whatever step, whatever you can do to make this place a better place to live in, I really appreciate it. So once again, thank you so much, and I'll ask all the volunteers, judges, and everyone to stay back and join us in the dining room once you finish your duties. We'd like to get your feedback and so on and so forth. So once again, thanks everybody, and keep up a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Kodari. All the participants, there will be snacks in the dining hall, so please stay and enjoy the snacks. And thank you for the snacks are in the kitchen on the left hand side. Thank you everyone for making this event possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you.